Archangel Michael says, "Have you been waking up at the same hour every night, heart racing for no reason? Have your dreams been more vivid, strange whispers, flickering shadows, or faces from the past you can't explain? Did a sudden chill pass through your home last night, though every window was closed? This is not your imagination. This is not coincidence. And this message is not for scrolling past. You have less than 2 minutes to respond, because something terrible is not just approaching. It's already here. A spiritual danger is moving faster than you realize. And if you don't act now, tonight, what could have been reversed will become permanent. I was not sent to soothe you. I was sent to wake you. You ask God for a sign. This is the sign. This message was not written with ink. It was forged in fire, sealed in light, and delivered with urgency. I, Archangel Michael, stand near your dwelling even now, sword drawn, eyes aflame, listening to the whispers around your name, the same name that's being spoken in secret conversations, behind closed doors, and in rooms where you're not invited. But heaven has heard enough. Now I speak. Tonight is not ordinary. You were not led here by accident. And I will not let you sleep through this. Don't delay. Don't dismiss. Don't scroll. Because what is moving toward you is real, and it only needs silence and disbelief to win. Type 777 if you're ready for the truth. Archangel Michael says, "This is your final warning. The clock has already started ticking, and most don't even hear it. There is a spiritual countdown unfolding behind the veil of what your eyes can see. It began the moment you said, 'God, I need a sign.' And now heaven is shouting through me to bring it to your doorstep. You have 2 minutes, not metaphorical time, but heaven's time, to respond. After that, what is reversible becomes sealed. I am not here to coddle you. I am not here to repeat what you've already ignored. I am here to shake the very air around your spirit. You've been feeling it, haven't you? The strange pressure in your chest when the room is silent. The sense that something is off but you can't explain it. The uneasy stillness just before dawn that feels too still. That is not coincidence. That is divine disturbance. Something dark has already been set in motion against you, and its speed has increased. The enemy is not sleeping, and neither are the watchers assigned to you. You thought you had time, but time has collapsed in the spirit realm. The gap between delay and destruction is now just moments. 2 minutes. That's all the distance between your deliverance and a devastating trap. This countdown isn't measured by a clock on your wall. It's measured by the movement of angels and the silence of your spirit. Heaven watches what you do in these next moments. And not choosing is choosing. Let me show you what's happening. You were distracted today, pulled in 10 different directions. You kept saying, "I'll come back to that later." But later was the moment that already passed, because the first warning was already sent. It came through a dream you didn't write down. It came through the way your pet barked at nothing in the hallway. It came through that knock at the door when no one was there. These were not accidents. They were alarms. I tried to reach you 3 nights ago. You rolled over. You brushed it off. You let fear dress itself as fatigue. But heaven kept watching, waiting. And now, we're out of whispers. We are down to war. There is a presence that has been circling your life. It doesn't knock with fists. It knocks with situations. You've noticed the arguments rising for no reason. You've felt tension with people you normally love. You've heard your name in a tone that felt wrong. This is spiritual warfare masquerading as everyday life. Someone has already moved against you. They've spoken your name in a room filled with jealousy. They've made a decision that directly targets your peace. And tonight, yes, tonight, you will feel it. It will come suddenly. Through a phone call, a strange conversation, a name whispered that you haven't heard in years, a flicker in the lights when you walk into the room. These are not interruptions. These are divine codes. But here's the dangerous part. If you delay 2 minutes longer, your spirit will miss the opening. And if you miss this opening, it may be months before it opens again. Listen closely. Heaven does not give this level of access often. This isn't just a message. It's a window. And windows don't stay open forever. Someone is trying to contact you, not with words, but with energy. Someone you once loved. Someone who hurt you. Someone who hasn't truly left your energy field. They are involved in what's happening now. Their agreement, their jealousy, their silence. It has played a role. You didn't know. You didn't see. But I did. That's why I was sent. Because tonight is not about revenge. It's about revelation. This is your 2-minute warning to pay attention to every little shift, every feeling, every sound. Do not brush it off. There are spiritual eyes watching your house right now. Yes, they see your front door, your hallway, your room. Yes, they have taken note of your peace and your silence. And yes, they are trying to enter through someone you trust. That's why you must activate the angelic covering over your life now. Say this aloud. Michael, I give you permission to guard this space. Do not let darkness enter. Your voice carries weight in the unseen. Your declaration is not just heard, it is enforced. Let me ask you plainly. Have you been sensing that a decision is being made without you? That someone is moving your life in a direction you didn't approve of? That someone is choosing on your behalf, behind your back? You're not wrong. It's happening, right now. And this is your chance to stop it. You must act in the next 2 minutes, spiritually, emotionally, mentally. You must choose to wake up, to stand up, to listen. Your house is not ordinary tonight. The air is heavier. The walls are holding whispers. The shadows are not just darkness, they are watchers. Not all of them are from heaven. But I am. And I've drawn my sword. Because your name was mentioned in a spiritual meeting earlier today. Yes, your full name. It was spoken with concern, with urgency, with holy command. And heaven's response? Send Michael. That's why I'm here. That's why this message found you. That's why you're still reading with your heart pounding. Because your spirit knows. This is real. Here is your first instruction. Do not engage in familiar conversations with unfamiliar energy. Someone you know is carrying a foreign spirit. They'll say something tonight that sounds small. but it will carry the seed of a lie meant to dismantle your future. Recognize it. The way to disarm it is not by arguing, but by activating divine awareness. Second instruction. Write down the name that came to mind while reading this, the one you tried to dismiss. Yes, that one. That person is connected. Their energy is being used as a vessel, not always by choice, but by spiritual influence. Michael stands between you and that influence tonight, but only if you say yes. The final countdown is not about fear. It's about alignment. This is not about superstition. This is about discernment. This is your moment to step into your role as the protected, the chosen, the aware. Say this aloud. I cancel every delay. I cancel every disguise. Michael, cover my house now. That is your key. And now, watch. Watch what happens in the next 2 minutes. The air will shift. The room will feel different. Your soul will whisper, "This is it." And you will know the countdown has begun. Archangel Michael says, "This may be the hardest thing for you to hear. But the enemy is not far. It is not someone across the world, not a stranger in another city, not a face on a screen or a name you've never heard. The enemy is within your walls. Yes, inside your house, in your circle, in your daily life. And what makes this moment urgent is this. They don't look like an enemy. They smile. They share meals. They may even say prayers with you. But spiritually, they've already handed your name to the wrong side. You've felt it. You just couldn't prove it. But heaven doesn't need evidence to move. Heaven sees everything. I was sent to confirm what your spirit already suspected. That conversation you overheard, the one that made your stomach turn but seemed innocent, it wasn't. That sudden distance you felt from someone you were once close to, it wasn't your imagination. That odd moment when they touched your arm and your whole body reacted with tension, that wasn't paranoia. That was your discernment waking up. You are not imagining this shift. You are not being dramatic. You are not overthinking. You are under attack. But not the kind of attack that breaks windows or steals wallets. This is subtler, more calculated, more sinister. It's an attack on your peace, your clarity, your name, your future. Someone has opened a door. Not a physical one, but a spiritual gateway. And they let in something dark. And now it lives in the atmosphere near you. That's why your sleep has been disrupted. Why you've been waking up between 2 and 4 a.m. That's why the room feels colder. Why the light flickers when you pray. Why certain words bring sudden sadness. These are not coincidences. They are spiritual symptoms. The danger isn't just near, it's inside. And the disguise it wears is familiarity. You trusted them. You invited them in. You believed their compliments. But beneath the surface, something else was forming. I saw it. I watched them write a message with your name in it. But the tone was mocking. I saw them speak about you to someone who carries jealousy. I saw the message deleted. I saw the conversation happen in a parking lot. The handshake, the nod, the lie. They don't even know they've been spiritually recruited. They think they're helping someone. They think they're just checking on you. But in truth, they're being used to delay, used to confuse, used to distort. And the reason you feel torn inside is because part of you still loves them. But I was sent tonight to draw a line, to bring clarity, to protect you, even from those you want to protect. Listen carefully now. There's an object in your home right now that carries their energy. It may be a gift, a framed photo, a journal, a piece of jewelry, or even a note you kept. You don't realize it, but it holds spiritual residue. That's why every time you clean, you still feel something heavy afterward. That's why the room still feels off even after you pray. Because the object is acting as a spiritual tether. It ties you to them in the unseen, and it lets their influence linger. Tonight, you must locate it. Ask your spirit to lead you. And when you find it, remove it. Place it outside your space. And speak these words. I release every attachment, spoken or unspoken. I break the tie. I break the lie. I reclaim my peace. And I, Michael, will seal that release with fire. But it's not just objects. It's words. There is something they said to you, a sentence that felt small at the time, but it planted doubt in you. Do you remember it? Think back. It might have sounded like, "Are you sure that's what God said? I just don't want you to get your hopes up. You always overthink things. You're being too sensitive." It wasn't just a sentence. It was a seed. And now that seed has grown roots of confusion in your spirit. But I'm here to pull those roots out, because confusion is not your portion. Clarity is, discernment is, protection is. You must understand this. Not everyone who walks with you was assigned to protect you. Some are watchers, some are recorders, some were planted near you to study how you pray, how you speak, how you react. They take your language and repeat it in rooms you're not allowed in. They carry your energy to places that were never meant to touch your frequency. But the line is being drawn now, and I was sent to shut it down. You are not alone in this battle. I am circling your house tonight. My wings cast light. My sword reflects truth. And the moment you say yes, the moment you give me permission, I will begin the removal. Yes, removal. Because this chapter will not carry passive warnings. This is not one of those wait-and-see seasons. This is action. This is exposure. This is divine reversal. Someone has tried to place your name in a spiritual trap. It didn't look like a trap. It looked like a good offer, a friendly gesture, a convenient conversation. But I saw it. I watched the spirit behind it slither in, and I crushed it. But the residue still lingers, and it lingers through them. This is your time to choose. Will you ignore this again? Or will you rise and take authority over your space? Say these words out loud. I sever every spiritual tie with false peace. I call back my voice. I call back my favor. And I remove every mask from every familiar face sent to delay me. Do not whisper it. Do not doubt it. Declare it. Because your voice is the key, and I am the enforcer. Let me leave you with this final confirmation. If this message made your heart race, if you saw a face flash in your mind just now, if your body felt sudden chills while reading this, that was not a reaction. That was revelation. You've known the truth for a long time, but love made you look away. Now heaven is making you look again. This time, not with emotion, but with authority. Because the enemy within your walls will not win this time. Not while I am here. Not while you are awake. Not while your spirit is finally listening. Archangel Michael says, "You think your house is quiet. You think the silence means peace. But tonight, I must reveal something your spirit has sensed, but your mind has tried to ignore. Your atmosphere is being watched. Not by security cameras, not by neighbors, not even by people, but by spiritual entities, some sent by heaven, and others not. There are watchers circling your dwelling. Yes, I said watchers, not angels, not demons, something in between. Spiritual entities that monitor, report, and whisper. They cannot harm you directly unless you give them permission. And the most dangerous permission is ignorance. The less you believe this is happening, the more access they gain. Let me take you back. Do you remember the dream you had last week? The one where you were walking through a hallway, but every door was slightly open and eyes were watching you from the cracks. That was not just a dream. That was your spirit walking in the unseen. That hallway was your life. The doors were access points. And the eyes? Those were watchers, assigned to study your weaknesses, your patterns, your hesitations. This is not fantasy. This is warfare. And you've been drafted whether you like it or not. There is a spiritual law I need you to understand. Observation precedes infiltration. Before a spirit can enter, it watches. It calculates. It studies. It waits for the precise moment when your guard is down, when you are tired, distracted, emotionally drained, or wounded by someone close. That's when they enter, but not through the front door. They enter through agreement. The watchers near your home are listening for words. Words of doubt, words of fear, words of surrender. Every time you say, "I'm tired of fighting," every time you whisper, "Maybe this is just my life now," every time you cry, "I just want to give up," they record it, and they move accordingly. But here's what they didn't plan for. You're not alone. I, Archangel Michael, have been stationed near you, and I'm not just watching. I'm resisting. I am intercepting what they've tried to do in secret. That's why you've felt tension for no reason. Why your heart races at night. Why you suddenly feel watched, even when you're alone. It's because your spiritual senses are waking up. There's more. Someone in your family line, someone long gone, once invited a familiar spirit into the bloodline. Not through evil, but through pain, desperation, grief. They consulted something that wasn't of God, hoping for comfort. They made a spiritual pact they didn't understand. And ever since, your lineage has carried a shadow. That shadow has been passed down. It doesn't shout, it whispers. It doesn't strike, it delays. It doesn't destroy, it distracts. You've noticed the pattern, haven't you? People in your family start strong, then lose momentum. They get close to success, then sabotage it. They love deeply, but attract betrayal. They pray, but stay confused. These aren't random. They're the result of watchers manipulating timelines. But tonight, I am breaking it. You are the one chosen to disrupt the cycle, to open your eyes, to lift your voice, to take authority. And to do that, you need to know this. Watchers can be displaced, but only by divine recognition and spoken resistance. You must acknowledge their presence without fear. You must command their departure without delay. Speak this aloud now. Every watcher not assigned by heaven, leave my home now. I revoke your access. You are not welcome. You are not hidden. You are exposed. Say it again. Let it shake your room. Let it burn in your breath. Because watchers tremble at clarity. But not all watchers are enemies. Heaven has assigned watchers too. Divine messengers. They record your obedience. They relay your prayers. They guard your moments of weakness when no one else sees. You felt one of them near your bed last night, didn't you? That sudden warmth when you woke up at 3:17 a.m.? That was not the room temperature. That was presence. That was one of mine, brushing past your chest, whispering, "Wake up, beloved. You are needed in the spirit." You turned over. You almost missed it. But your spirit heard. That's why you're reading this now. Let me tell you a truth that most ignore. The most important conversations about you are not happening in rooms, but in realms. Your name has been spoken in both light and darkness. Heaven has declared your destiny, but hell has tried to delay it. And the watchers are the messengers of delay. They whisper thoughts that make you second-guess yourself. They plant feelings that seem like yours, but aren't. They stir emotions that keep you spinning in circles. But this chapter ends now. I am clearing the air around you. You will feel it. Suddenly. Sharp. Strong. A shift in your home. Like something exited that was never supposed to be there. That's me, forcing watchers to retreat. They cannot stay where clarity reigns. Tonight, you must do this. Walk through your house in silence, not with fear, but with focus. Feel every room. Pay attention to the space that feels tight. That's the place where watchers linger. Light a candle and say this: I welcome light. I reject confusion. Let heaven fill this house and expose every shadow. Play worship, even at a low volume. It disrupts monitoring spirits. It pierces spiritual static. It confuses their patterns. Open a window or door, even for a few minutes. Yes, physically. Let the spirit of exile flow through. Let heaven cleanse what eyes cannot see. You will notice the shift immediately. Someone in your house may act strange. They may suddenly feel sleepy, angry, agitated. It's not them. It's what was connected to them being dislodged. Be still. Don't argue. Just observe. Because watchers hate exposure. They will try to distract. They will stir confusion. But you are no longer the confused one. You are the awakened one. And I, Michael, am standing in your doorway tonight. Sword drawn, wings stretched, eyes burning with holy justice. I will not allow watchers to remain where light is honored. Say this now: Michael, I give you authority to guard my gate. I choose clarity. I choose boldness. I choose the God who sees. Do you feel that? The warmth in your chest? That is the response of heaven. It's not emotion. It's alignment. Your soul is catching up to the assignment, and the watchers are losing ground. Before this night ends, you will hear a sound. It might be a thump, a pop, a voice, or even silence that suddenly feels different. When that happens, speak again. I see you, and I cancel you. Because watchers thrive on being unacknowledged, but they have no power where they are named. And now, you know. The watchers have been exposed. Your house is no longer available to them. The veil has been lifted. The line has been drawn. And the countdown to your restoration just moved closer. Archangel Michael says, "This is not new." What you're feeling now, the resistance, the warfare, the delay, it didn't start last week. It didn't begin with your last heartbreak. It didn't begin with the person who walked away. It began long ago, before you were even born. Before your first breath, your name was entangled in a war that spans generations. A trap was set, not with weapons, not with chains, but with choices. A decision made behind your back, long before you existed, is still echoing through your life. And tonight, heaven has authorized me to expose it. Let me take you back in the spirit. There was a moment in your bloodline where someone chose compromise over covenant. They were desperate, maybe for money, maybe for power, maybe just to survive. They made an agreement. They hid it. They never spoke of it again. But heaven recorded it. That choice opened a spiritual contract, one that still affects you today. Have you ever wondered why doors shut right when you're about to walk through them? Why relationships collapse after you open your heart? Why peace never stays for long? Why your breakthroughs always arrive late, if at all? This is why. The trap was never about you. It was about who came before you. And the enemy has been trying to keep you bound to a lie you didn't even create. There's a phrase you need to hear: inherited delay. It's when your life is slowed not by your decisions, but by someone else's unresolved disobedience. A broken vow, an abandoned promise, a betrayal left unspoken. It was supposed to be dealt with, but no one had the courage, until now. Because I, Michael, am here with you tonight to confront what was never confronted, to expose the origin of this spiritual interference. Someone in your lineage buried something, not just physically, spiritually, a truth, a document, a broken covenant. They thought no one would find it. But I've been standing beside it for years, waiting for heaven to send me. Now is that moment. The trap was set to activate when you reached a certain level of purpose. And that time is now. That's why everything's gotten harder lately. That's why you feel resistance in strange places. Because the trap was timed to sabotage your rise. Here's what they never expected. You're the one chosen to break it. Yes, you. You, the one who's been tired. You, the one who felt overlooked. You, the one who almost gave up. You were never the victim. You were the breaker. Heaven chose you because you carry the fire of confrontation. You carry the authority to undo what was hidden. But to do that, I need you to be bold. You must ask this question aloud tonight. What was hidden in my bloodline that still touches my life? Say it again, louder, because when you say it, a spiritual file is opened, and the angels assigned to your family line begin searching. Yes, searching. Every altar, every vow, every object, every broken word that still lingers in the spirit. And when it is found, it will be revealed to you, suddenly, in a dream, through a word from someone unexpected, through a memory you forgot. And that's your signal. It's time to dismantle the trap. But be warned, the enemy will not retreat quietly. The closer you get to breaking the curse, the more distractions will rise. Old emotions, familiar spirits, people from the past suddenly reappearing. They are not random, they are reinforcements for the trap. But you are not who you used to be. You have been awakened, you are being armed, and I am standing with you. This battle doesn't end in defeat, it ends in freedom. Let me tell you what you'll see when the trap begins to collapse. Strange confessions. People will admit things without realizing why. They'll say, I never told anyone this. Listen, their words will carry keys. Objects resurfacing. A lost letter. A forgotten heirloom. A strange paper you've seen but never read. That's not nostalgia. That's a breadcrumb from heaven. Spiritual disturbance. Chills with no cold air. Dreams that feel more real than reality. Emotional eruptions from people you love. These are not attacks. They're reactions to exposure. And when they come, don't run. Don't panic. Speak this. The trap is breaking. The light is winning. I am the reversal. You may feel sadness tonight, not because of fear, but because your spirit is grieving what was never spoken. You're carrying unspoken weight, and now it's time to let it fall. This is not just about freedom. It's about legacy. Your children's children will live in clarity because of what you dismantled. You are not just healing your timeline, you're restoring your entire lineage. Now hear me. There is someone in your bloodline who saw this moment coming. They prayed you would be strong enough. Yes, they made mistakes. But before they died, they repented. And they asked God to send someone to finish the work. That someone is you. This is your spiritual inheritance. Not money, not land, but divine authority to break what others tolerated. Let me give you one more confirmation. There is a specific number you keep seeing. A date, a time, a repeated symbol. It's not random. It is heaven reminding you. The trap is timed, but so is your deliverance. When you see it again, say this. I reverse every assignment linked to this moment. What was used to trap me will now launch me. Because what the enemy set to delay you, God is using to define you. I stand beside you now, with sword in hand, with fire in my eyes. I've waited centuries for this moment, and I'm telling you, this trap has an expiration date, and it's tonight. Say these words aloud. Every unspoken agreement, I cancel you. Every hidden vow, I break you. Every spiritual trap, I dismantle you in the name of light. Feel that? That release? That's not emotion. That's deliverance. The trap was set long ago, but now it's broken. Archangel Michael says, I have sounded the trumpet. This is the final alert before the shift becomes irreversible. There are moments when heaven whispers, moments when angels nudge gently, and then there are moments like this, when the heavens roar and the time for delay is over. This message isn't soft. This isn't poetic. This is a final divine interruption. Because the line you are about to cross will change your life, either into blessing or bondage. And heaven needs to know where you stand. Child, I must speak clearly now. You have no time left for confusion, no room left for indecision, no margin for silence. What happens in the next few hours will determine the next few years. You've heard this in your spirit already, haven't you? That pounding in your chest when you're alone. That strange sense of urgency you couldn't explain. That sudden jolt that wakes you just before sunrise. That wasn't anxiety. It was divine countdown. The final alert has been issued, and your name is on it. There is a situation already in motion, moving toward your life. And it's not just an inconvenience. It is an assignment. A spiritual hit was ordered against your clarity. It was designed to confuse your discernment, blur your focus, and drag you into a situation that was never meant for you. This is not about punishment. This is about protection. You've been standing too close to people and places that carry spiritual poison. And heaven has watched long enough. Tonight I've been dispatched to cut the final cord. You must hear me. You've tolerated certain patterns thinking they'd go away on their own. They won't. You've been hoping someone would apologize, confess, change, or suddenly grow conscience. They won't. Because this is not about their decisions. This is about your obedience. Heaven is not waiting for them. Heaven is waiting for you to rise, to choose, to close the door before it becomes a prison. There is a person, yes, that one, who has already made a move behind your back. You think it's all calm, but the spirit realm tells the truth. They've already spoken your name in betrayal. They've already agreed to something that affects your direction. They've already made a phone call. They've already planted the seed. You haven't seen it yet because it's been disguised as peace. But I see it. And I'm here to confront it. That's why you've felt agitated. That's why your sleep has changed. That's why your spirit has been wrestling, because their actions have already touched your atmosphere. Here's the warning. If you do not speak up in the spirit now, if you do not cancel the agreement they made using your silence, if you allow this wave to crash over you without alert, you will step into a cycle of silent sabotage. You won't notice it at first, but things will start feeling off. Opportunities slipping, connections failing, confusion creeping in. Not because of something you did wrong, but because of something you refused to confront. But not anymore. I stand between you and that outcome now. Say these words. I cancel every word spoken against me in hidden places. I revoke access to anyone who partnered with darkness in my name. I stand under the covering of light, truth, and power. Speak it. Declare it. Don't just read it. Say it aloud. Because your voice is not just heard in your room. It echoes in realms. And when you speak, I enforce. Tonight, a window opens. Not a window made of glass. A spiritual window. It opens for only a short time. If you step through it, everything shifts. The trap will reverse. The lie will unravel. The delay will be destroyed. The destiny will be reignited. But if you let this moment pass, you may have to wait months for this alignment to come again. And heaven does not want that for you. There's more. Tonight, you may receive a message, a text, a call, a hey, just thinking of you. But it is not innocent. It is a probe, a test, a spiritual tap on the door to see if you'll open again. Don't fall for it. It is wrapped in kindness. But beneath the words is assignment. They are trying to re-enter a space that heaven already evicted them from. Say this: no access, no entry, no return. The final alert means this: if they get back in, you allowed it. I know this is hard. I know you still love them. I know part of you wants to believe the best. But love without discernment is the fastest path to bondage. And heaven would rather break your heart for a moment than watch your destiny be delayed again. Tonight, you may hear something in your house. A sound you can't explain. A sudden stillness that feels alive. That is not fear. That is me, Michael. I am near, and I will stay until the moment has passed. But only if you align with this word. Only if you recognize the seriousness of what's unfolding. There is no room for games anymore. No space for maybe tomorrow. This is the now moment. The 2-minute window is closing. You may feel like crying now, not because of sadness, but because your spirit finally feels the truth of this moment. Your chest feels tight. Your mind is spinning. But your soul is awake. Let that happen. Let the tears fall. Let the revelation crash over you. Let the divine weight settle in, because this is the holy seriousness of final alignment. Say this now: I step into alignment. I respond to the alert. I shut the door on delay. I am ready. Let heaven hear it. Let the watchers hear it. Let the betrayers hear it. Let your bloodline hear it. Because this will be remembered. This is the moment you chose authority over comfort, awareness over deception, clarity over convenience. And when the heavens record this moment, it will not say, they ignored the call. It will say, they responded, they rose, they broke the chain. The alert is sounding, the window is closing, the fire is falling, and I, Michael, am still here, still roaring, still warring. But you must choose, not tomorrow, not later. Archangel Michael says, I have drawn my sword, and I am standing between you and everything that was meant to destroy you. You may not see the war, but that does not mean it isn't raging. There are forces, dark, ancient, calculated, that have studied your lineage, watched your patterns, and waited for the precise moment of weakness to strike. They thought this would be that moment. But I was sent to intercept. I was sent with sword and shield, not to watch, but to war. Because what you're facing now isn't ordinary discouragement. It's spiritual assassination. You weren't just under pressure. You were under attack. But not anymore. Because when I draw my sword, heaven draws the line. The enemy has used every tactic, whispers of insecurity, delays disguised as peace, betrayals wrapped in friendship, confusion masked as God's will. But tonight, the sword of the Lord has been unsheathed, and I am swinging it with holy vengeance. For every tear you cried in silence, for every time you gave when you had nothing left, for every promise stolen in the night, for every door that slammed shut at the edge of breakthrough. The battle wasn't fair, but the justice will be holy. You were never weak. You were targeted. The enemy saw something in you before you even believed it for yourself. They saw potential, anointing, authority, access. So they sent storms. They sent delays. They sent watchers. But now I send fire. I send confusion into the enemy's camp. I send reversal into every curse. I send terror into every stronghold, because your name was never theirs to hold. Now listen carefully. This is not the time to retreat. This is the time to advance. You are not just being defended, you are being equipped. Tonight, heaven is placing two things in your hand, a sword and a shield. Not physical, but spiritual. And you must learn to use both. Let me teach you. 1. The sword. Your voice. Your sword is your declaration, your word, your authority in the spirit realm. The enemy isn't afraid of how long you pray. He's afraid of what you say when you believe what you're praying. When you speak with authority, I act with urgency. So don't just whisper hope. Command it. Speak like someone who knows they're covered by heaven. Here are your sword phrases. I take back every blessing with my name on it. Every lie spoken against me is reversed. I move forward with fire and favor. Speak these daily, especially at dawn and at midnight. These are gates in the spirit realm, and when you speak at the gates, you shut the door to what was sent to harm you. 2. The shield. Your discernment. The shield is not defense from attack. It's prevention before the attack lands. Your discernment is rising now. You'll start to notice things that never made sense before. Suddenly, you'll feel discomfort around certain people. Suddenly, you'll feel urged to cancel a meeting or pause a reply. This is not paranoia. It's your shield in action. Trust it. Do not explain it. Do not justify it. When the Spirit says no, your response is obedience, not compromise. The shield doesn't argue. It blocks. Now hear me. There is someone preparing a situation that looks good. It will appear as opportunity, but it carries delay. It is bait, not blessing. And if you're not holding your shield, you'll walk into it with good intentions and come out with chains. So activate your shield before every decision. Ask this: God, is this sent or is this assigned? Because not everything good is from God, and not everything familiar is for your future. Tonight a shift begins. You will dream again, but this time with clarity. You will feel energy again, but this time with direction. You will walk into rooms, and atmospheres will change because of what you carry. This is not spiritual hype. This is spiritual awakening. The war for your soul was never just about survival. It was about access. Because what's inside you threatens what's been ruling others. That's why you felt so isolated, so attacked, so misunderstood. But I came to tell you, heaven has never misunderstood you. God sees what you carry, and tonight He arms you for it. I am standing guard now, at your front door, at your dreams, at your name, and I will not leave until the danger is removed. But here is your charge. Don't go back. Don't return to what you cried to leave. Don't open the door to what heaven closed. Don't justify what the Spirit is exposing. Your freedom depends on your consistency, not your feelings. Say this now. I carry the sword of clarity and the shield of discernment. I do not go back. I move forward covered in fire. Say it again. Let your body feel it. Let the room shift. Let the realm respond. Because that's what warriors do. They command what once controlled them. And you? You are no longer the wounded. You are the armed. Let me leave you with this. In the next 72 hours, you will feel something lift, a pressure, a fog, a strange heaviness. That will be your confirmation. The battle has turned, because I, Archangel Michael, have not just passed by your house. I've stationed myself there, and when I draw my sword, no darkness can stay. Archangel Michael says, you have felt the stirring. You have read every word. And now you stand at the edge of decision. Not just a decision of the mind, but of the spirit. Because this wasn't just another message. This was your wake-up call. A terrible danger was moving toward you. It came fast. It came disguised. And it came with a timeline.